sixth graders, this is your math video for April 30th, and I am going to just try to make this fairly short. A couple things I told you before that we'd be doing, and so you can just be prepared here. We are going to go over those questions that you did on your homework yesterday. So we're going to go over those questions. Remember, we did questions 3 through 6 together, so I'm just going to be giving you the answers for 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you did the animal one, and we'll talk about that on Zoom and hopefully get to see that and talk about that a little bit when we're all together. And then I'm just going to give your assignment for today, for Thursday. And remember, Thursdays are our review days, so you just be going to the back of your book, and I'll give you some questions that you'll be doing, reviewing just a couple things from chapter 1. Okay, so let's start with our questions here for 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is from your book, page 330. So on page 330, the first thing we did, we looked at a histogram that represents the money made during a car wash fundraiser. We're to use the histogram for these questions 7 through 9. So number 7 asks us how many observations are in the data set. So you need to go back and look at all your frequencies and add those up. So if you were to do that correctly, you should have come up with 32 observations. So that's what we should have had for number 7. Number 8, what does each observation represent? So the bars on that histogram were representing a car that was washed. They had intervals of time at the bottom. So each time period had so many cars that were there at the car wash being washed. So that's what they were observing. Now, number 9, what conclusions can you make from this? Well, there's different things you could have said, but one thing that you could have talked about is that the greatest number of cars washed were falling between this time interval of 3 and 4:59 p.m. So that's just one thing. You could have said maybe when the least amount of cars were being washed, and that would have been between 1 and 2:59 p.m. Just different things, but you just need to base on what you were looking at here on this histogram. Okay, so that was number 9. Number 10, you were to make the frequency table shows the daily water temperature in a pool during the summer. So it asks us to construct a histogram to display the data that we saw there to our left. So this is interval degrees in Fahrenheit, and then the frequency. So how many times that pool is at 61 to 65 during those summer months? 3 times. How many times was that pool at 66 to 70? Well, 16 times. How many times did it fall between 71 and 75? Well, 22 times. So as we went through that and we read through those intervals, we saw how many times that this pool fell in that interval during the summer. So we're to come up with the daily pool temperatures. So we were just looking at the water temperatures. It could have added that in there too. That might have been helpful. And then here's the temperature in Fahrenheit. So we're making sure we let our person know who's reading our histogram what we're doing here. We need to make sure we have these titles. And then here's our intervals. So we just took the intervals from the chart, and obviously they're all the same, because remember, we need to do that. We need to be very careful. So going from 61 to 65, 66 to 70, 71 through 75. Okay, so all those are equal, so that's good. Then we looked at, and we could do our frequency on this side. I just counted by 2s, thinking that might make sense here when we're putting in our bars. Okay, now we're going to put in our bars at 61 to 65. The frequency was 3, so this would fall at 3. The next one, 16, so make sure it's falling at 16. Then 22, then 23, so just going up there a little bit, then 19, then 11. Okay, so that is, now the frequency, you could have picked different numbers, so yours might look a little different because of your numbers over there. You could have counted by 3s, maybe some of you counted by 1s, possibly, maybe 5s. So just depending on what you did there, your bars might look a little differently than mine. I just decided to count by 2s. Okay, so that is the wrap up of that page. And now I'm going to move us over here because we are going to, I'm going to try to keep this fairly short today because I've had some pretty long math videos. So I don't want you having to be on your screen for an extra long time today. So thank you for bearing with me. I know it's been a lot to cover, so good work, you guys. But today you're going to be looking at page 362. That's in the back of your book. You're going to be doing questions 32 through 38 even. So make sure you get that down. Don't have to do all those, just the evens. And then you're going to be looking at questions 42 through 47 all. So there's your homework for today. That's going to be due. I mean, obviously, I always want you to work on it, but let's have it done by Monday because that's when you're going to get your new video and your new assignment. So this is Thursday, and you have over the weekend, depending on how fast you want to get that done. And then that will be reviewed obviously next week. But let's try to get that done by Monday before you get your next set of work coming from me. Okay, that's it for today. So have a great weekend, and hopefully you are understanding and knowing how to do these histograms. All right, bye you guys.